Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. His land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
You want a sports degree that is beyond the game? A degree that immerses you from day one and launches you into the business side of sports. With a sports management major from IUPUI's School of Health and Human Sciences, you'll have insider access to sports professionals and will learn from faculty with years of teaching and industry experience. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to launch your sport industry career.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got carry out?
Everything that you need we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight, that's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Well, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up.
We'll be waiting for you.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
You want a career that will transform your life while you change the lives of others by helping them live well. With a health or exercise sciences degree from IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences, you will gain an in-depth understanding of the healthcare industry while preparing you for a variety of graduate and professional programs in health. And with Indy as your classroom, you will have clinical options within leading hospitals right in our backyard, as well as a degree from Indiana University, reputable leaders in the healthcare industry. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
You're good at basement basketball.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Mortgage Group. I've been teaching here at Guerin Catholic for 13 years. I've been assistant coach also for 13 years. And I think it's important in today's world that we have young people growing up with the morals and values of faith-based education.
Hello, I'm Dwayne Thompson with Integrity Mortgage Group, and I support Guerin Catholic High School because I'm good friends and business partners with assistant coach Tommy Mascari, and any chance I have to support a Christ-centered education for today's youth, I take advantage of that opportunity and support in any way I can with my time, effort, volunteering, funds, and commercials like these.
Together we soar. Guerin Catholic Sports on IndianaSRN,
where you're always in the game.
And a pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to Indiana High School basketball here on IndianaSRN in conjunction with the Indiana High School Athletic Association. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Morales Group. The Morales Group, Building better futures, one story at a time. By Bertner Electric, your licensed and experienced electricians serving Central Indiana. IUPUI Sports Management, a lifetime of sports with a winning degree. Piper Logistics, 3 services, 1 logistical solution. And by Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown farm equipment dealer. And once again, a pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to Indiana Basketball Magazine pregame show. I am Jimmy Cook. Troy, I want to jump into things right now as we look at both of these teams. For Brown County, the Eagles started the year, I want to be positive about this, I really do. They started the year 2-1.
Right.
Things were rainbows and butterflies for this Eagles club. Since then, they're on a 14-game losing streak. They're trying to regroup. The best part about high school basketball in the state of Indiana is everybody gets a ticket into the big dance. Everybody gets an opportunity to play in sectionals. Everybody gets an opportunity to try to win a state title. I'm not saying the Eagles are going to win a state title. I'm just saying there is a tomorrow for them right now, despite the losing streak they're currently on. They are faced with a tough task, however, as they're at Greenwood Christian Academy tonight on senior night, a 14-9 Cougars squad that things couldn't be better for them. They've won 6 straight, and currently 8 of their last 9. They are in a complete polar opposite realm right now to where the Eagles are. However, this is a Brown County squad where, as I mentioned, to start the year, things were good. Expectations were, I don't want to say high, but they were in a confident bravado, a confident manner. They're trying to get back on track. You've been a coach before. Let's start with the Eagles. Where does that start, knowing that, unlike other sports or other states, there's a postseason for you, regardless of how bleak things have been recently?
Well, and that certainly is a positive, that when you get into the tournament, you can do some damage. Problem is, how well are you playing going into the tournament? Right now, they're not playing very well, and the one game that really stood out recently was that loss at Northview, in which they scored only 4 points. I don't know all the circumstances behind that game, but they did come back and play much better against Cecina, in which they lost by 12. But, sometimes when that snowball gets rolling, it's hard to stop because it just keeps going, and as a coach, you're really not sure what to do. You change lineups, you do different things, you maybe practice a little bit longer, maybe you don't practice the next day, whatever the case may be. So there's so many different variables that you're looking at. But the thing is, you got to start getting it right here very quickly, because by Sunday night, you'll know what your tournament trail looks like. And right now, of all the teams in their sectional, they are right now at the bottom of all those teams. They got to really play well in order to win.
Yeah, the pairing show upcoming this weekend. It starts the true beacon of excitement for Hoosier hysteria here in not just central Indiana, but across the state when the state tournament gets underway. For Greenwood Christian Academy, as we mentioned, 14-9 on the season. Things have been bright for them. And I turn to you again, Troy, in terms of the messaging you have for your crew. You want them to be playing their best basketball around this time of year, riding that type of momentum, heading into the tournament, and here you are doing just that, winning 6 straight.
Well, and they're better than 14-9. I've watched them. In fact, I've had several of their games this year, and they've got a good inside game. They've got a good outside game. They can do a lot of different things to you, and defensively, they are very, very good as well. So when you look at those 9 losses and you start looking back at some of the teams they played, I'm not surprised, because they played a lot of very good teams this year, and they're going to be a tough one. They're not the favorites in their sectional either, but you don't show up to play them on a certain night, they're going to get you.
We're going to step away briefly here on our pregame show. We come back, we'll go through some keys to the game from Troy. We'll also go through starting lineups and more, leading you up to tonight's tip between the Brown County Eagles and the Greenwood Christian Academy Cougars. More on the pregame show after this on IndianaSRN.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Welcome back to IndianaSRN's coverage of Indiana high school basketball in conjunction with the Indiana High School Athletic Association. This broadcast is copyrighted by IndianaSRN and the Indiana High School Athletic Association for the private use for audience. The use of pictures, video, or audio without the express written permission of the IHSAA is prohibited. Jimmy Cook alongside Troy Darengowski for tonight's contest between the 2-15 Brown County Eagles and the 14-9 Greenwood Christian Academy Cougars. Now time on our pregame show to shift gears a little bit. Turn to the coach for some keys to the game.
Well, you know, Brown County doesn't have a whole lot of size in this one here tonight, and when you're going to go against Greenwood Christian, as I'd mentioned, they have a good inside-outside game, so they can beat you in both departments. And the one thing they're going to have to try to do tonight is find a way to play good basketball inside. Now, the tallest player they have is Jesse Hubbard, and he's only a freshman, and I'm not sure too much about his playing time, so they're a very guard-oriented team. The only problem is you're playing a Greenwood Christian team that also has a lot of good guards. My advice to Brown County is don't try to get in a running game with these guys here tonight. You've got to give yourself an opportunity to win in the fourth quarter. Don't let this thing get out of hand before halftime and get yourself behind, because offensively, you don't have the offensive power to really make a great comeback if you fall behind.
Taking a deep dive into both of these programs, Greenwood Christian Academy, we mentioned they've won 6 straight, 8 of their last 9 over that stretch. Wins over Providence Cristo Rey, Indian Creek, International School, to name a few. For Brown County, they are looking for their first win of the calendar year. Last victorious back on December the 3rd of Eastern Green, 45-39, the final there. We're going to step away. When we come back, we will have starting lineups and the tip between Brown County and Greenwood Christian Academy on IndianaSRN.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. His land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Back here at Greenwood Christian Academy for tonight's contest between the Brown County Eagles and the Greenwood Christian Academy Cougars. Take a look at the starters. First for visiting Brown County. At one guard, a 5'9 senior number 3, Caden Belmore. At a forward, a 5'11 senior number 22, Josh Miller. At another forward, a 5'11 junior number 24, Blake Wagler. A third forward and a senior, 6 foot number 31, Waylon Patrick. And rounding them out, a guard at 5'9 and senior, number 32, Carter Kelly. Head coach is Jacob Guernsey, 2-15 in his first season at the helm of Brown County. For the Greenwood Christian Academy Cougars at 14-9 on the season. At a forward, a senior, number 3, Aiden Sloan. At another guard, a junior, number 12, Ian Reed. At a sophomore and a guard, number 23, Max Boer. A forward and a senior, number 32, Matt Tiki. And rounding them out, a junior and a guard, number 34, Blake Schumacher. Head coach is Jackson Williams, 14-9 in his first year at the helm of Greenwood Christian Academy. Taking a look at the Sagarin ratings for both of these clubs. Greenwood Christian Academy is ranked 241st in the state, 30th in Class 1A. Brown County 377th overall in the state, 97th in Class 3A. Last time out for both these clubs, Brown County lost to Cena 63-51. Meanwhile, GCA defeated Traders Point Christian 51-40. Common foes on the schedule, Brown County 0-2, Greenwood Christian 2-0. Opponents' combined record, Brown County 154 and 156, Greenwood Christian 180 and 233. Series history the last 35 years, Greenwood Christian Academy leads 5-4 and are currently on a 4-game winning streak. Last meeting was back in 2020, February 21st, just before the pandemic. Greenwood Christian Academy won 66-29. Johnny Harrell has this as a final to Greenwood Christian Academy 67-38. Brown County in their road blue jerseys, white numerals and lettering in the black trim. Meanwhile, GCA in their white jerseys, blue numerals and lettering and the black trim. Ball is tapped, won by the Eagles, and we're underway from Greenwood Christian Academy. Little man-to-man look to open things up for GCA. First look at the Eagles offense. Wagler. Now Belmore. They work over to Patrick.
Now Belmore's their best player with the basketball, and when he has it, he is a scoring threat, so you want to really keep an eye on number 3.
Kelly tried to go all the way to the rim, leaves it. Corner 3 is thought about. Patrick will hesitate and reset. Over to Belmore. And a travel out front. Shuffled the feet, and our first turnover of the ball game.
That's an area where you're really going to have to make sure you do not give Greenwood Christian any more possessions than they have in this ball game, so turnovers will be a big key for Brown County.
You got to value the basketball in a game like this, particularly given the season Brown County's gone through to this point. If you want to try to pull off an upset tonight, got to value each possession. They nearly force a turnover there. It's a jump ball. The arrow's going to keep it on this end.
Well, the first thing they wanted to do, speaking of Greenwood Christian, get that ball inside, because Tyke at about 6'4", the tallest player on the other side is about 5'11", so they have quite a size advantage.
They work inside in the post, got a defender up off his feet. Did Matt Tyke. And he lets the Cougars draw first blood.
He's going to be hard to stop. I've watched him play so many times this year, and it doesn't matter even if somebody is his size, he works really well in the paint.
Even though they're a 1A program, plenty of weapons to go around for this Greenwood Christian Academy team. And a second straight travel. No, it's going to be a jump ball. Arrow will stay on this end. Second straight possession, we've had a jump ball on either end of the floor.
Well, I'll tell you what, in Greenwood, I mentioned that in the pregame, they really do play very good man-to-man defense. It's awful hard to get a shot if you don't stay in motion, and they will go for steals, and they'll tie you up a lot.
Miller had it partially blocked and left it short. Here come the Cougars. Boer is pushed. Foul's going to go against Carter Kelly. That'll be his first on the team.
And that's going to be a hard guard because Boer, if you don't come out and guard him out on the perimeter, he will shoot the three. You'll see he, along with Ian and Noah Reed, shoot the three extremely well.
Shoemaker. Now Sloan in the corner. Wants to go down the lane and had it blocked by the base of the backboard. Got in too deep. Kelly skips left side. Patrick all alone for three. Off the mark. Eagles were searching for their first lead. Couldn't get it to go down. Here come the Cougars. Great defense by the Eagles. A rejection attempt there by Miller. Nearly got a steal out of it. Another steal he does. Josh Miller, the senior, making plays on the defensive end. Will it lead to points? Wagler resets things.
Well, you looked at the other end of the floor, and the one thing you noticed already, Brown County is going to have a lot of guys helping each other on defense.
Kelly, wild shot off the mark. Rebound Cougars. In transition. Extra pass. Three in the air. Three to the bottom of the net. Max Boer knocks it down. A 5-0 run to open things by the Cougars.
Just mentioned Boer a little bit ago as we head the other way.
Patrick an answer for three. Waylon Patrick knocks it down.
Well, that's good news if you're Brown County that you're on the board this early.
Shot off the mark. Rebound secured by the Cougars. Shoemaker for three is good. Their second triple of the quarter. Third different Cougar to score. 8-3 to Greenwood Christian Academy.
Mentioned in the pregame there, you could go inside, outside, as now you see Brown County turning the ball over. That'll be their third, including the loss of possession arrow.
Well, you mentioned it, and again, we don't have all the details from that game. Didn't have the opportunity to catch up with Coach Guernsey before this ball game, but only 4 points registered on at least on John Harrell and on Max Preps for their last time out.
I think they got Josh Miller that time, and they were down in that ball game at one point. I know it finished up 65-4 in that game against Northview, but they were down 65-1 and got a late bucket from three to make it 65-4.
Foul went on Miller there, the Eagles' second. Hesitation there from Boer. Mid-range, not that time for Tyke. Ben Wagler's in the game now. Bodies everywhere on the deck. Jump ball tie-up. I think the arrow will go to GCA.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, and I would be really surprised if Greenwood doesn't go back inside again. They didn't the last two possessions. They settled for the outside shot, but I think to get them going again, go back to the inside.
Good concept and something the GCA has been able to do throughout the year. A rejection from behind by Ben Wagler. Now he'll bring it up the floor after the block.
I'm not sure Tyke really needed to go underneath the basket to do that. He probably had a pretty powerful move to the left side if he just stays on that side of the basket.
Eagles trying to keep pace. Is it a bump or a foul? I think we're going to get a foul out of it. Some Cougars faithful not happy with it.
Foul number 23 for the Cougars, Max Boer.
Fouls on Boer, first on the Cougars.
Well, the one thing about Greenwood Christian, too, and again, that's only the first foul you're looking at here, but they have guys that can come off the bench. You'll talk about Tallman pretty soon at some point. Cumberford will come off the bench, Noah Reed as well.
Reed
so they got plenty of depth. Yeah.
For Boer. Ball was tipped on the pass, but they'll say it was last touched by Brown County. So the Cougars will walk it up. A 5-point lead in pocket. Halfway gone by in this first quarter. Tyke leaves it. Shoemaker, he wants another three. He'll have another three. Second triple of the quarter for Blake Shoemaker.
That's going to be a hard guard for anybody, and especially tonight for Brown County, who's undersized. And even if you get out there and challenge the shot, he's able to lift over you.
Wagler tried to force a pass. It was stolen away, and the Cougars come up with it. Reed sees the floor. Lob in deep. Shoemaker didn't have the angle he wanted. Now works the dribble. Sloan thought about a corner three. He'll go baseline. Nearly lost it. What a pass and one. Found inside. Matt Tyke He's got 4 now in the quarter and a chance for the old-fashioned 3 at the line.
I'm pretty sure Tyke could just have his way tonight if he really concentrated on working down low, because he does a nice job receiving, chinning, getting that defender in the air if he has to, and he's just a really tough guy to stop no matter what size the other team is. I've seen him play really well in the paint.
A free throw here for Tyke is good. 5 for him now. And it makes it a 9-0 run by the Cougars.
And this press that they're putting on right here will cause a lot of problems. We saw that on the last possession because Brown County doesn't handle the ball well.
They're able to get a steal out of it, though, nearly. Turnovers galore. Left and right we go. And Brown County wants the timeout. It's a 30-second timeout. Will stay here. 3:01 left to go in this first quarter. Cougars on top by 11. Tonight's game is brought to you by Serenity Care Services. Serenity Care Services is an Indiana licensed service agency with a friendly, experienced team of caregivers you've been asking for. Call Angela today at 317-900-6202. Serenity Care Services, serving Indianapolis and the 5 surrounding areas. Jimmy Cook alongside Troy Darengowski. A look at the Eagles huddle. Troy, I'm going to lean on you a ton tonight since you've been in the huddle before. Where's your messaging in this first 5, down 11?
Well, it's something you said earlier is you really have to value the basketball. And if you count the possession arrow that they lost, and they've lost a couple of them, they have 7 turnovers here in the opening period of play. You're going to have to find a way to value that ball even more because you don't score a lot. You got to have some offensive possessions.
Eagles do a nice job breaking the press there. Belmore tried to kick into the corner, but no one was home. It'll be out of bounds. Back to the Cougars, and that's another stress factor there on this Eagles team is that it's only an 11-point deficit, but turnovers like that, your window, unlike most games, can close quicker against a team like this. Long 3 in the air for Reed. Back iron. Miller the board.
Well, you mentioned that too, and there's a lot of length on that Greenwood Christian team. They're hard to go against on the offense.
Brady Bond misses a 3. 1 and done for the Eagles. Shoemaker's third 3. No, won't fall that time.
See, sometimes you kind of settle a little bit, an 11-point lead. I still think you go back inside, work it inside out.
Eagles searching for answers against this man-to-man look. It almost looks at times, Troy, you mentioned Belmore, but there's not a ton of guards, not on the floor, but guards that want to go in and try to make a play. There's a nice play right there. Wagler with the pass inside to Miller, but prior to that, we'd seen trips either settling for a deep contested 3 or refusal to try to drive and force the issue inside.
Yeah, and they're running that motion offense, kind of a flex offense as well, trying to screen and screen and screen, and that works fine. But at some point, you're going to have to find a way to shoot the basketball or take it to the rim, and they just haven't had that kind of success just twice so far here tonight.
It ends the 9-0 run, and a turnover again by the Cougars, giving opportunities, plenty of them, to the Eagles.
Well, and they've turned the ball over 4 times, speaking of Greenwood Christian, so they haven't exactly played as well offensively as you normally would see them do, and I'm not quite sure what it is, but
it's an offensive foul going the other way. Nearly a high-stepping Euro. You don't see that very often from Carter Kelly, and great work on the defensive end by the Cougars to slide in and take the charge. That's a second foul on Carter Kelly. Something to keep an eye on as this game progresses. And I say it only because Carter Kelly has the 2 fouls, just 4 for the team. But only 10 on the roster tonight for the Eagles. You can't afford to get players into foul trouble.
Yeah, and you can't, and that's one thing, you can't, first off, don't foul away from the basket like they have a tendency to do. And on the other side, I'm still thinking now they went back inside to Tyke right there, and they want to get him back involved in the offense. Sometimes Greenwood Christian has settled for that 3-pointer, and when it's not falling, I can understand the idea, keep shooting, but every once in a while get back into the flow of your offense, and I think that's what they need to do right now.
Wagler now with 2 fouls. Kelly also with 2 fouls. Baseline drive not there for Reed. Loose ball up for grabs and a held ball. The arrow is going to go, I believe, to Brown County.
Well, how many times have you seen Greenwood Christian, you're supposed to chin that basketball, and if you get into triple threats, you want to go rip to hip as much as you can, but they're not protecting the ball, and they keep bringing it back down, and Brown County, to their credit, stripping it away.
Miller gets it up ahead. Wagler playing with those 2 fouls, drives, layup, a blocking foul is the call. He could not get the layup to go, but a chance for 2 points at the lineup coming for the freshman.
And that is a good call, by the way. Again, you got movement underneath. You really didn't get yourself established, and I think that's the one thing that Brown County will have to do more often is try to take that ball right at the basket, because they did hit the 1 3-pointer earlier by Patrick, but from the outside, they're not that good of a shooting basketball team, so they need to get to the rim a lot.
Wagler, 1 more free throw upcoming, and that's good. A little 4-0 run by the Eagles here late in the first.
Well, and if I'm Brown County, I actually feel pretty good about this. I'm only down by 7, and you turn the ball over 9 times. And again, I always include losing the possession there as a turnover because you give the other team the extra possession. So it'll only be down by 7. You probably are thinking not a bad first quarter.
Cougars measuring the man-to-man look. They try to force it inside. Great jump there by Miller. Will the Eagles hold for 1? I think I've heard hold for 1 yelled twice there by the coaching staff, so that answers your question.
Well, you got to cut down that passing lane and give that big man a chance to receive the basketball, and that was a really careless turnover.
Wagler with 4, Skip, Belmore, stops, 3 in the air, off the mark. Just wide of the mark, but a nice rally by Brown County. They put together a 4-0 run. They trail at the end of one, however. The Cougars of Greenwood Christian Academy 14, the Eagles of Brown County 7. Second quarter up next on IndianaSRN. Back here at Greenwood Christian Academy, it's senior night. Always a fun, festive night across the state of Indiana when you have a program, or your local program, I should say, that has seniors to recognize. A couple throughout Greenwood Christian Academy, both on the basketball team, cheerleaders as well. 14-7 your score at the end of quarter number 1. Quarter number 2 starting with that missed 3. Eagles will bring it up. Troy, you're the wearer of many coaching hats tonight, coaching whistles, whatever analogy you want to go with, for that GCA huddle, as there's a foul committed by Sloan, who tried to jump the passing lane, his first and the third on the team. What did you say to the team? What did you say to the team?
Greenwood?
Yes, at the end of 1.
I just don't think that they played smart basketball all the time, and you're going to say, well, how can you say that? They had 14 points in the opening period, but they turned the ball over 6 times. There's a steal.
Here's a run out and a layup cleanly by Max Boer. He's got 5. But to your point, Troy, the number of turnovers, and I guess you could also say that, well, the Eagles forced some turnovers as well, and they didn't do this. The do this, of course, I'm referring to is the points off turnovers. There weren't as many as you'd like to see with how many you forced.
Yeah, and I just thought that sometimes, I'll give you one example, when Tyke was on the high post, and I don't remember what guard it was had the basketball, and you're taught to cut down that passing lane and make sure that you give a fake or something where you're going to give that guy a good look on a good pass, and I thought they got kind of lazy a couple of times and just kind of threw it out there like it was automatically going to get there, and Brown County wasn't going to try to step into the passing lane and take it away. My point is, when it comes tournament time and you play a really good team, you can't afford to do that, and then that's my focus now, because in 2 weeks, in less than 2 weeks, you're going to have to be playing really, really good basketball.
Ideally, in the perfect world, you want to see your club playing their best basketball right around this time. And so far, Greenwood Christian Academy has done that. We mentioned at the top of the broadcast, winning 6 straight as that shot was off the mark. And now here come the Eagles in transition. Good hustle by the Cougars to get back on defense. Now they'll run in transition, but you don't want to have a game like this where you're sleepwalking and get your tendencies out of line that you've established to this point as we have a travel committed by the Eagles.
Well, and Jimmy, nothing against Brown County, but they're 2-15, and there's a reason why they're 2-15. They just aren't playing very good basketball right now, and it's been a while since they have. But if I'm Greenwood Christian, I don't want to play down to a team and say, boy, they're only 2-15. We really don't have to keep doing the same things that made us 14-9. You have to play like they are undefeated when you go into a game like this, and I don't think you've seen that so far here tonight.
Offensive foul call on Ian Reed.
Team fifth. Back in the game for the Cougars, number 1, Jordan Tallman.
Jordan Tallman checks into the game for Greenwood Christian Academy, the sophomore. 7-point deficit for the Eagles of Brown County.
You know, and sometimes, Jimmy, you get this late in the year, and I know it's senior night and such, and you're kind of ready as a player and as a coach to get onto the tournament and get the regular season over.
It's very easy to get complacent in these last couple of games. We stress all the time, usually for teams that are struggling, hey, everybody gets into the tournament. It can be true for a winning club as well. Maybe you've had only 2 losses on the year. You know where you're at. You're ready to get an opportunity to win a sectional championship. Why do we need to stay focused for a game like this?
Yeah, because games really like this don't mean a whole lot other than stay injury-free, work on the things you need to work on, and that's really sometimes where you start pulling some different things out of your hat to get it ready for the tournament.
Patrick, a skip pass. Trying to cut further into this Cougars lead. Wagler left it right side. Little hop step. The amount of airspace for the Eagles is lacking in terms of ability to get a shot off from downtown.
Yeah.
Great closing speed by the Cougars.
And Greenwood's doing a great job just making sure they're keeping everybody in front of them. They do a lot of switching, too, and a lot of communicating.
Wagler. Hesitation there by Belmore. His teardrop floater won't go. Rebound falls right to Tyke.
Yeah, he probably should have taken that 3 when he had an opportunity, but sometimes in a shooter, you're not really sure whether to shoot or go ahead and put it on the floor, and there's an offensive foul.
Yeah, Shoemaker, clear as day, and that's going to be something that you definitely want to clean up by the time the postseason rolls around. You extend the forearm in nearly any capacity at this level, it's going the other way.
Well, and the high school officials have been told to really emphasize that this year, because too many times guys are, extending arms and doing hand checks and everything. And they just don't want this game to get out of hand like you might see in other levels higher.
Long 3 in the air. 3 off a screen. Knocked in by Caden Belmore. 5 points now in the quarter for the Eagles, and they've made it a 4-point game.
Yeah, I thought he should have shot the 3 the last time, kind of hesitated. And he's the kind of player you don't really need to hesitate. Get it, shoot it, and be confident.
A 5-2 run now by the Eagles. Shoemaker measuring. He extended the arm again, but that time the foul was on the floor before that happened. That's the right call by the officials.
A lot of times I'll watch a player. I know you got a timeout here, I believe, and I'll let you continue, but I got a little bit about guys on offense.
30-second timeout, we'll stay here. Carter Kelly picked up that foul. That's his 4th of them. Third? They have a 3rd on the board? Okay, thought I heard 4th from the PA announcer, but the board does have just 3 for him, so still something to watch out for the Brown County Eagles. 4:23 left in this second quarter. Cougars of Greenwood Christian Academy on top by 4. Tonight's game is brought to you by the IHSAA Foundation. Subscribe to the IHSAA's newsletter, The Advocate, by going online to IHSAAfoundation.org. Thanks to the IHSAA Foundation for what they're doing for our student athletes. Jimmy Cook alongside Troy Darengowski. Troy, I apologize. I know we kind of cut off your point there.
No, you're fine.
Before we went to break.
I am a fundamental guy. I mean, I just think that if you don't have good fundamentals, you're probably not going to go very deep in the tournament. And I watched some players, and I mentioned a little bit ago about how many times Greenwood was bringing the ball back down around their waist area, and the ball was being stripped away. The other thing you got to do when you're out here on the perimeter, get yourself into triple threat so you're able to do a lot of different things with the basketball.
Shoemaker kicks in the corner, almost an extended give and go there as Sloan was the inbounder. Aiden Sloan knocks it down for his first points. That ends the Eagles' run, and we're going to have a foul as they were getting ready to cross the timeline, called against the Cougars. It's going to go against Max Boer, his second. 7th on the team, bonus in effect. And he fouled the rest of the way. In fact, by either team now is going to lead to free throws in this half.
I don't care how you look at this right now, but if I'm Brown County, I feel pretty good. I'm only down by 7. We're halfway through the second quarter. Chance here to maybe cut it down to 5 against a team that I'm sure most people thought this was going to be a huge blowout, and it just has not been the case here in the first half.
Miller, 1-1 off the mark. Cougars dodge a bullet there. Approaching the halfway mark of this second quarter. Pass in deep, some contact, and free throws upcoming for Tyke. But more importantly, if you're an Eagles faithful, where the foul going to be placed? It's Wagler, that's his third. So now you have 2 players with 3 fouls for Brown County. Wagler with 3 and Carter Kelly with 3.
And as you alluded to earlier, they are not very deep off that bench, so they're really now you're down to the point with 4 minutes as a head coach, and you talk about Coach Guernsey. He's going to have to really be very careful on keeping these guys in and gamble with the minutes.
And I wasn't even talking about depth in terms of talent. I just mean depth in terms of warm bodies to put out there. Only 10 on the roster. A road contest like this where, again, you're playing really well, all things considered, to only be down 7. Free throw split there by Tyke. He now has 6, and the press is once again alive and well, but you've got to keep as many guys out there as you can, particularly the playmakers that you do have on the floor. A nice look at a 3 for Blake Wagler's off the mark, and now a foul 90 feet away on Waylon Patrick, I believe is where that's going to go.
Yeah, it's 31 Patrick, and that was not a very smart foul at all. You had no chance for the rebound there. Just back off, get back, and live for another day and get back on defense.
Be 1-and-1 opportunity for GCA. Blake Shoemaker at the line had 2 nice threes in that first quarter, searching for his first points of the second. And he starts it off right with the front end made.
I know, talked about it earlier, how this Greenwood Christian team can play inside and outside. When you put Tyke in there and Shoemaker in there at 6'4" and 6'5", and those guys play, when they're playing well down low, they're really, really tough to stop.
A 6-0 run and a nice response from the Cougars. Push this lead to 10, their largest of the game.
And I think you see that press a little bit more because I would venture to say Coach Williams is trying to get his team going here a little bit more in this first half.
Wagler to the cup. Did he shuffle the feet first? He did. So yet another turnover by Brown County, and things starting to separate just a tad. Still plenty of time in this second quarter, as we might have a little blood on the ear here of Jordan Talman.
I like this Talman kid. I've watched him come off the bench in other games and really spark this team. Only a sophomore and a guy who I know accepts his role, but he can really be a good shooter when you get him rolling. What he might have had, and I'm like you, something happened. I don't know if he has.
It's a guess. It might not be blood, but there's something
pierced ear
that needs to have a look at by the trainer.
Yeah.
And the way they were pointing, you assume it was something on his face, but again, the athletic staff's always going to make those decisions, and referees there to see it too.
Well, and a lot of times referees don't see those little studs in the ears, and the player forgets to take it out.
I see what you mean. Yeah, it could have been that too.
Yeah, and you don't see it until the game's underway.
Right.
So.
Foul goes against Josh Miller, his second. Free throw takes a home roll for Matt Tyke, one of the seniors tonight. He and Aiden Sloan, the lone seniors on the Cougars basketball roster.
You know, we've had games, I've refereed games this year where the player will come out with a headband and has a little knot on the back, and they think they can get away with it. You can't have a knot on the back. But you have to stop the game and do it. So, not that I would ever have enough hair to bother with that, but some of these guys, and number 12 there, the Wagler, he's got a lot of hair. 22 down here.
Even in your prime, you were.
Oh, I had it then.
Did you have headband ready?
No,
back then? No, no.
No, I let my locks just flow out there.
Tolman back into the game, so whatever it was, and we apologize, we can't see from our vantage point. Whatever it was, they've taken care of it.
You know, almost looks like he might have gotten a shot on the cheek.
Could have been, and again, that's what I thought initially with them, because it looked like the athletic staff was going to the first aid kit immediately.
Yeah.
Free throws made. Makes it a 12-point advantage. The largest lead grows now to 12. Eagles in trouble. Wagler leaves it. Belmore 3. Wide of the mark. Hit the side of the rim.
Yeah, I think Brown County's handled that press pretty well. It's when they get into the half court, when they get a little bit shaky. And that extra pass almost sometimes doesn't do them much good.
Yeah, the struggles have been real in the half court for the Eagles. You're exactly right about that. Comerford works the handle. We're going to foul away from the basketball, and that's on Carter Kelly, I believe.
Yep.
And that's his fourth.
You know what he did? He shimmied that guy. It was like hockey coming across the lane there, and you can't do that. You have to let the offensive player through, and he kind of extended that arm and tried to knock him off his course. And uh-oh.
And the officials are now having a talking to, and we might have a fan tossed out right now.
I think it's a Brown County fan, but if you had a chance to see the replay, you could see Kelly extend that arm when the player came across the lane, knock him off his path, and that's a foul. You can't do that.
Well, you saw the official. He warned, we're assuming, again, it's tough to tell from our vantage point, we're assuming was a Brown County faithful. No more out of anybody. And then I'm assuming that little last haymaker by the Eagles fan, now the referee's gone. Usual protocol is to go with the athletic director or go get somebody that's there on staff, and you'll likely have a fan ejected now.
Yeah, and he probably said something really magical that would get the referee's attention because, you know, most of the time these guys don't hear a whole lot going on in the stands, but it is a smaller venue, and they're right there next to the floor, so he is being escorted out.
The fan is being escorted out. Some applause, I think, from I don't know if that's what the Cougar players were applauding or not, but regardless, I'm sure it was, Troy. I'm sure it was very profound, and it's something that's going to change the lives of many that were in attendance for this game today.
You know, and listen, I've been on the other end of that, too, where I've been out there, and they'll yell things at you.
Yeah, I forgot. You ever tossed somebody?
Not in the stands. Let's take that back.
Have you ever tossed a fan?
I have, yes. Okay. Yes, and it wasn't so much because sometimes what they said at the first – you kind of ignore it, but then they just keep chirping.
Was it basketball?
Yes.
Man, I was really hoping it was balls and strikes. little Little League action, tossing a parent out.
Oh, I'd toss the kid out before I toss the parent. No. But they do get belligerent, and here's the point I'll make here, Jimmy, and then I'll shut up on it. You want to know why you have a hard time finding officials at all levels? Yep. That's why, because the parents act like imbeciles.
Yep. At the line for some free throws, Parker Satry. He'll have one more upcoming. Gets them both. 26-12. The lead has ballooned to 14.
Yeah, and the rest of this 2.5 is really important now for Brown County. They need to get this thing down to 10 or under because it's a psychological thing. You want to get into that locker room.
I was going to ask you that, where your target mark was.
Yeah, because you can tell the team, hey, you're only down by 10, but it's hard to say you're going to come back when you're down by 20.
A little shout-out from the coach, Keith Myers, as there's a long elbow jumper that's short from Belmore. The coach wanted me to stress to you, Troy, that his hair looks good in a headband, just so you knew that.
He wore one the other day when we were at Cambridge.
Yeah. Layup is missed, but a chance for 2 points the hard way upcoming for the Cougars.
You know, the problem we had with Coach the other day is the Wizards came out and they wanted to shoot around and they couldn't get Keith off the floor. And I'm like, you got to leave. But he wanted to show them a few things. And I don't know if he came off or not. I went and had lunch.
Yeah,
right?
he's always trying to give back to the game for the next generation. Always trying to pass his wisdom along.
Well, I'm not sure it's what the Wizards were thinking, but, I noticed that they did lose that night against Indiana, so whatever he told them.
You're talking the Washington Wizards.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I thought you were talking. Oh, man, well, Coach, then, did you have a talk with Rui Hachimura? I guess he didn't play last night, but have a talk with some of the winners. Kyle Kuzma picking up some nuggets from Coach?
I just said, listen, I know they lost, so they're not going to listen to you next time they come to town. So,
baseline feed, not there. Well shut off by the Cougars. Lead has risen to 15, 27-12.
And now you see Greenwood's got a little 2-3 zone here, almost like a matchup 2-3 zone.
Just 5 points put together in this quarter by Brown County. Their defense has been respectable, but the offense has not been there for them. Nice steal up ahead. Comaford layup. Not that time. And a foul 90 feet away called against the Cougars.
Yeah, they got Santry on the foul, and really not a very smart foul at all. You look back at a couple of times Greenwood Christian, they missed that layup right there, and really you got to take it up strong. That's one thing about it. You can't worry about anybody coming to block your shot. You got to take it, keep your head up, keep your eyes up, and finish the shot. They've had a couple of those they haven't finished.
One and one, does not get a friendly roll. Up the floor come the Cougars. 65 seconds left in this second quarter. Long three by Jeb Bird is good.
Another sophomore coming off the bench. As we talked about Tallman earlier, those two guys can really light it up when you give them a chance.
An answer three in the air, halfway down and out. Waylon Patrick could not get it to go, and a loose ball foul is going to go against the Eagles. It's on Blake Wagler.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what Wagler's thinking right there, because you almost reached out and grabbed the other player, and again, you're 84 feet from the basket, and you just need to get back and play defense. Don't give them a chance to score again.
Yeah, both these teams, you don't have any fouls to give left in this half. You're giving each side the opportunity for free points with the clock stopped.
It is a head-scratcher, isn't it?
Tallman's first free throw off the mark. He'll have one more. The sophomore measures. And that's good. Splits the pair.
Jimmy, when you look at the sectional coming up, and this is a Greenwood Christian team that's going to have to go up against Tinley or Lutheran or Central Christian, three teams that are favored ahead of them. They're really going to have to play much better against those three teams if they meet them in the tournament.
It's a 15-0 run by the Cougars. And how aggressive will they be? And no shot clock present. Lead comfortably in hand. Long three in the air. Three rattles home. Ben Comerford knocks down a triple. And the lead is ballooned to 22. An answer three. Brady Bond. Not that time. Second chance at it, though. Miller leaves it for Bond. Belmore at the horn. Would not drop. A massive scoring drought for Brown County. And the officials clean things up there just before the teams head to intermission. 34-12, your halftime score. Troy, some thoughts before we step away for the halftime break. Thoughts on either side. First for Brown County, you had opportunities to maybe even gain a lead early stages of that second quarter. Things went south quickly.
Yeah, what happened to them is what couldn't happen. As we mentioned, they don't have the offensive power to get down like they did, and now they're down by 22, and that's going to be one very big hill to climb in the second half, and they just went cold. I mean, they got the Belmore three in that second quarter. Other than that, all they had was a couple of free throws, and they had some silly fouls there as well. They got a couple of their players into foul trouble. On the other side, hey, listen, you had guys come off the bench. You had Sloan hit a three, you had Bird hit a three, Comerford hit a three. You went back inside, you got Tyke and Shoemaker to the free throw line. Saptry got to the free throw line as well. Other than a couple of turnovers and such by Greenwood Christian in that second quarter, I thought they really played much better than they did overall in the first period of play.
We're going to step away. When we come back, we'll have the start of the third quarter. Don't go anywhere. We have high school basketball for you here on Indiana SRN. Greenwood Christian Academy leads Brown County at the intermission 34-12. Back in just a bit on Indiana SRN.
Today, greed, selfish interest, and barefaced corruption seem all the fashion. America needs great men of tolerance who can give honest debate to the great issues of the day. I'm seeing mostly squabbling, men squandering their time, being wolves to one another. Yet, I'm not without hope. We still have Freemasonry. Yes, the same Freemasons that helped create this country have always provided great men when needed. And today, in every city and town in America, Freemasonry is still providing that special place where young men can find their greatness and accomplished men can give something back. Yes, in this time of great hope, it is my hope that America will see that Freemasonry is a national treasure that cannot be separated from our country's future.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake. Yeah.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got a counter right here. Isn't this where you place the orders?
We sell trophies, we sell plaques, we do embroidery. No food.
You got carry out?
Unlike the internet, everything that you need we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight. That's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Well, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
You know, Jim, I'll be back tomorrow to pick it all up.
We'll wait for you.
Don't wait long.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. You know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year, all sorts of sports. Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
It was a challenge that was given by my father. He wanted me to give back much more than I had been. Then I realized that when he said more, he wanted me to see how I could give more. And it wasn't just in money, but in time and in services. And that's how the Morales Group was created.
I started off at Morales Group as an intern. I interned for 3 years before going on full-time staff here. What I love most about Morales Group is that big family aspect. I come from a big family in Mexico, and since the company is continuously growing, I feel like there's always a new member of the family that I get to know.
We're willing to give. We're willing to serve others, and we're not expecting something in return.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to IHSAAFoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
You want a sports degree that is beyond the game? A degree that immerses you from day one and launches you into the business side of sports. With a sports management major from IUPUI's School of Health and Human Sciences, you'll have insider access to sports professionals and will learn from faculty with years of teaching and industry experience. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to launch your sport industry career.
You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street Signs and Banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Welcome back to Greenwood Christian Academy High School. Jimmy Cook alongside Troy Darengowski. Start of the third quarter about to get underway. GCA on top of Brown County by 22. Troy, this one is obvious, but I'm going to tee up a softball for you just so you can run to the park with it. Troy, 5 points in a quarter is not great.
No.
But it's especially not great when you give up 20. It's not a recipe for success. We've talked about it, that it's been a season at times of lack of recipes for success for Brown County since they started the year 2-1. But you want to still take this opportunity, knowing that everybody makes the tournament, to realize that you're playing a top-tier opponent. Even though they're a 1A school, they're one of the brightest 1A schools in the state. You want to take this opportunity to grow further.
Yeah.
Not saying they can't win,
yeah,
but your larger message is growing for tomorrow.
Yeah.
What do you need to see out of Brown County to know there was some growth from half one to half two?
Well, what's my speech at halftime is probably what you want to know
Sure,
first,
sure.
right? Well, you have to be a psychologist as a head coach. Any coach will tell you that because you got to get your kids to believe.
Sure.
And I know you're down by 22. How do you get them to believe? And I would say to them, first off, let's keep things realistic here. We got to play very well in this third quarter. As I said earlier in the pregame, you got to give yourself a chance to win in the fourth, but you got to play good basketball right now. So I think these first 5-6 possessions are going to be really big on both ends of the floor. You got to get stops. Don't commit silly fouls like we saw sometimes, 84 feet away from the basket, and then you got to get that offense going. You saw them run that flex, and it looked like a flex motion offense. but you can pass and pass and pass and pass and pass. But you got to remember, Greenwood Christian plays very good defense. You got to have more shots, and they didn't have enough shots. They don't have the type of offense to fall down by 22 and get this thing all made up quickly. So they're going to have to be patient to start, but every possession is going to be gold in this third.
We'll wait and see what adjustments are made as the Eagles of Brown County start with the basketball to open this third quarter. Eagles looking at this man-to-man. Spin at the top is good. Nice move from Ben Wagler. He has 6 now. That's his first field goal of the evening, and a good start to quarter number 3.
Great start. Didn't take a whole lot of time to get that first good look, and now you got to play defense.
An answer triple is knocked down. Max Boer, his second 3 of the evening. Give him 8 points now, and the lead is at its largest at 23.
And that's what makes Greenwood Christian, when they're playing well, as I said earlier, they're an inside-outside team. They can hurt you down low. They can hurt you from the outside. Boer likes both those corners. You got to find the shooters a little bit quicker.
Miller. They work it up the floor. Nice ball movement. 3 for Belmore is good. Caden Belmore steps into a triple, his second 3. Give him 6 now on the night.
Yeah, 2 possessions, 5 points now. Get a stop here. Yeah, you're not going to make this. So you got 20 to go here to try to at least, you don't want to trade baskets, but you got to find a way now. There's another good positive as you get an offensive foul here. And so now you have another chance. Here's another possession. If you do something positive, all of a sudden you kind of feel things, and your team feels much better about yourselves.
Can't be thrown into the corner, though, on the impact.
No, never throw it there.
Hesitation. Kick is stolen away. Jumping that passing lane was Ian Reed. Sloan in the corner. Shoemaker. Money.
2 straight shooters in that corner, so somebody's fine. There's another turnover.
A turnover and a steal. Might see a timeout shortly from the Eagles. Boer with the steal and layup. He's got 9 now.
Yeah, Jimmy, they're killing me now. They had a chance to really do something, and now they got another turnover. See, that's the thing. When you have a team that's 2-15, things aren't going well. And I mentioned to you earlier, sometimes when that snowball just keeps going and going and going, you think you get a stop, and then 3 things happen.
Whichever way you want to talk about it, snowball, compounding mistakes, any way you want to shape it, that has been the last minute and a half, 2 minutes for Brown County.
And yet they started out exactly the way you needed to with the 5 points, and there's another foul on the other end. I think they got Tyke on the moving screen. Is it 22 instead?
I couldn't tell if it was the moving screen or if it was Boer for extending the arm. I don't think they've updated it yet on the board.
So there's another foul in the backcourt. Yeah, there isn't a 22 on there, so I thought it was 32 Tyke, but nonetheless, I don't think that foul is going to affect you at all when it comes to the end of the ball game. So it was going to be Boer, his 3rd.
We got a foul there as well on Reed, so he's got 2. Able to break the press for the Eagles. Wagler. Patrick will try a 3. Wide. Here come the Cougars. No, loose ball steal. Beautiful pass from his back. Wagler the shot. And a loose ball foul going to go against the Cougars. That's Noah Reed. 3 on him, I believe.
Well, and the thing I didn't like about Noah Reed that time is, first off, why was he in such a hurry on the offensive end that he ends up turning the ball over, and then you turn around and you commit a foul, and that will give you pine time because you didn't play that very smart, and you got to sit down and really think about what you didn't do right during those 2 possessions.
If you're looking for another positive spin or a positive spin for Greenwood Christian Academy, the movement would be is there's a long three-pointer that's off the mark by Belmore. Bodies on the deck. Eagles will steal it, and they'll reset things. The bright spot would be you're getting an opportunity to give minutes to your bench. You're giving youngsters, and usually that's late into a fourth quarter. You can see a little bit of who might be a bright spot to plug in should you be short due to foul trouble come tournament time.
Yeah, and I've always liked Tallman. I talked about him earlier, and then, of course, you look at Comerford hitting a three, and then Ian Reed able to play the way he has played normally. Those guys really play well off the bench. I like the guard play that you can get off the bench. That's a positive there for Greenwood.
Tallman is fouled 80 feet away from the bucket. That's the fourth foul on Wagler. So now Carter Kelly and Ben Wagler both with 4 fouls for Brown County. Brady Bond will check into the game.
You know, Jimmy, as a coach, you get off the bench and all you can say is why. What was the purpose of fouling way down there? I usually never got an answer.
Sometimes you know, though.
Yeah,
frustration, stuff creeping in.
Yeah.
You lose track of the fundamentals.
But you got to be smart.
You have to.
You really, again, if you're going to succeed in the tournament, you got to play smart.
Catch and shoot three. Hits the right side of the iron. A big man's board there by Wagler. Kelly playing with those 4 fouls. Bond, Belmore. Works back to Kelly. Trying to circle the wagons.
Well, Greenwood played a little zone. We saw that earlier, but I don't think they're a zone team. They did zone, but they love playing man-to-man, and they really do a decent job of switching and talking most of the time.
Feed in deep, layup, drops down. Josh Miller now with 4.
Yeah, Tyke stays on his feet. I would challenge that shot because you know as well as I do, Miller's not going to try another one.
Turnover, a steal, off to the races. Kelly scoop layup is good. Carter Kelly's first basket of the ball game, and they've trimmed it just a tad down to a 21-point game.
Well, they've had 4 really positive possessions, and certainly if you take away that little area where they ended up turning the ball over 3 or 4 times in a row, it would have been a much different second half.
The turnover, this reference isn't going to do anything there for you, but maybe for our younger crowd. Tyke there looked like a player on 2K trying to pass out of a bad shot. You're like, oh, I don't want to take this. I need to give the ball up right away. Nearly a turnover. They subsequently end up turning it over anyway. But
well, let me ask you this. How many times do you see a player, the decision makers now are either I'm going to take it all the way to the rim or I'm going to shoot a 3, but you don't see many mid-range jumpers.
Nope.
Why not take it in the lane and pull up and shoot it?
It's a dying art.
It is. Well, I think it's dead. It's been dead for a while.
You still have a couple of people clinging to it. Chris Paul made it kind of a resurgence in the playoffs a year ago, and Russell Westbrook, when he was on, which it's been a rough shooting season for him in L.A., but mid-range is part of his game. There's a shot off the mark and some contact. It'll lead to free throws.
Well, Jimmy, I would hope that more than just 2 are in the entire nation.
Well, there's 2 off the top of my head that are really strong about the mid-range.
But it's hard to think of anybody else, isn't it?
It is.
I know that when I'm watching basketball, the thing that I really watch a lot anymore is just how many players don't do it. And you see it a lot now. They're either going to put their head down and they're going to go right to the basket no matter what. And yet there could be a defender right there that's going to take the charge. And players just need to learn that if it's not there, I need to pull up and shoot it.
John Morant in Memphis still incorporates into the game. It's not a dominant feature for no one really except for the 2 I mentioned in Westbrook and Paul. It's not a dominant feature for anybody. There's still guards that can do it, but you like to drive aggressively and kick out to a shooter, or you like to try to get yours from beyond the arc.
Yep.
More often than not. Lead up to 22 after the free throw is 43-21 your score. Well past the halfway mark of this third quarter. Eagles trying to slowly chip away. Selection Sunday, or the pairing show I should say, but Selection Sunday for high school hoops, though copyrighted, so we have to say the pairing show for the IHSAA upcoming this weekend. Well, that's blocked. Great close that time by Parker Satry. Shot off the window won't drop for Josh Miller. Out of bounds, it'll stay on this end.
I know that a lot of people are going to like this. I know Coach Myers doesn't like it because he doesn't like me bringing up we need a shot clock in high school basketball.
Troy.
The other thing that I would like to see happen, see, I knew you'd disagree with that.
No, Troy,
Oh,
no.
agree?
Oh, man, I was about to praise you and upset Coach further and saying, boy, is it nice to have a forward-thinking color analyst here in the booth with me.
The other thing I want to see him do after that missed shot is I want to see them seed the sectional tournament. After that, you don't have to, but you got to seed the sectional.
Yeah, the blind draw with it is always. I'm not as a layup here. Got in my thoughts for a second. It's off the mark and a rebound taken by Tallman. I know the pace. Offensive foul is the call. Beautiful charge taken there by Josh Miller. I understand that it's hard to update things statewide right away.
Yeah.
So I've been fighting the shot clock battle for years. I'll settle for that one, but I do agree with you about the pairings aspect of it in seeding as well. Full timeout, we'll take one as well. 1:46 left to go in the third quarter. Greenwood Christian Academy leads by 22.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
A look inside the Brown County huddle. $1:46 left to go in this third quarter. Greenwood Christian Academy leads the Eagles by 22. Alongside Troy Darengowski, I'm Jimmy Cook. What do you need to see from the Eagles just in general, Troy, closing this third quarter?
Well, they're not going to be able to hold it, I can tell you that, at 1:40, so you could have a couple of possessions here, and that certainly will help right there.
Long three-pointer by Caden Belmore, his second of the quarter. He now has 9 for the game.
You know, I've seen him play, so I know he's their best player. I think they need to get him more shots. He really hasn't shot that much. I know he's the 9, but I like to see him shoot a little bit more.
Tallman, heavily pressured by Belmore. And a hand check going to go against Belmore.
You know, I'm still going back to our previous conversation where you and I agree on the shot clock. I tell you what, we're forward thinkers. See, that Myers guy, he's always thinking way in the past, and it's just not doing him any good.
Yeah, it's. I know he was, one of the people that probably helped invent the shot, or excuse me. He probably did. He probably did still help invent the shot clock, but I know he was one of the initial founding fathers of the association. So I know he's seen a lot of basketball in his time.
Well, when he played, they still stitched up the ball, so.
The peach baskets were still up, Troy.
Exactly.
Coach famously would have to climb the ladder and go up and get it and bring it back down. Long three left side, off the mark. But in all seriousness, though, and we'll table this a little bit for the fourth quarter. We'll tease that for you. We're switching to talk radio now.
That's
Troy
right.
and I will dive into a little bit why shot clocks help the game for the fourth quarter. We have to sit on that for a little bit.
Okay.
Stay with us there. That gives Coach just enough time to unplug us.
Do a little bit, yeah. Is he going to call our producer and tell him, yank them off?
Lob inside. Working it inside. Long shot off the mark. And a rebound secured by Brown County.
Play for one right here.
Belmore, Patrick, you have people chanting a fake score, or fake clock, I should say. Likely the Cougars student section, I would assume.
Yeah, you'll find out how focused you are when you're out there playing.
It's not something you want to see on film.
Mm-mm.
You pulled up with 20. What happened? Well, I heard the crowd. They were chanting 5. End of the third quarter. It's a 21-point advantage for Greenwood Christian Academy. Final frame arrives after this on IndianaSRN. 34-12. So
Yeah.
that's, yeah, you're right. How about that?
Boy.
Welcome back to Greenwood Christian Academy. We look for bright spots all the time. Brown County's not going to like the box score for that first and second quarter, Troy, but a bit of a surprise in quarter number 3.
Yeah, we were adding it up, and, the 12-11, they outscored Greenwood Christian in that quarter, and Belmore had a couple of threes, and, boy, just that 2 stretches in there where they didn't take care of the basketball as well as they needed to after getting off to a good start in the third, and it kind of cost them a little bit, but still, I mean, that's something now you tell your team, listen, we can do this. Let's now have a good fourth quarter, and we may not win, but let's finish out strong.
Skip pass right side, a little pump fake. Sloan gives a Reed. Reed, baseline, the sea kind of parted for him, layup off the mark. Second chance is not there. It's stolen away by the Eagles.
Boy, they have missed some layups here tonight. Speaking of Greenwood Christian, they've had a couple of shots right next to the basket, just haven't finished.
Coach Williams is going to have some film to review.
He will.
No doubt about that. Long 3 in the corner. It's good. Knocked down by Blake Wagler.
Boy, they played so much better in this second half than they did in the first half. Could have been a different story if they played better.
Yeah, and really, you look back at it, it's that second quarter is the biggest bugaboo for them. A long three-pointer by Max Boer, his third of the evening.
Yeah, you can't, and we said this earlier, you can't leave him alone because he finds those shots in the corner and he loves that area. He'll just knock you dead all the time.
Give him 12. A jump ball is going to be the call. Arrow will keep it with the Eagles. 6:55 left in this fourth quarter. Well, we finally reached it. I'm just getting texts and tweets all across the board clamoring for this. The conclusion of our conversation about shot clocks, of course, what I'm referring to. Troy, here's my thing. I understand that maybe people think 24 seconds or 30 seconds, whatever you put it at, or if you set it to where the college level is too short. I understand that. I don't even care if you put it at 45.
Yeah.
Just put something to give you a baseline introduction. In my mind, it's not even just about the quality of play, as there's a nice basket made by Brown County. It's about getting you ready for the next level.
It is. Well, you got a full time, Eddie. We'll pick it up, I promise.
Pick it up when we come back. 6.5 left in the fourth. Cougars still on top.
Needing to hire someone to take care of your loved one when you're away? Maybe your family member just needs someone to talk to when you're not around. Why not contact Indiana licensed Serenity Care Services? Call Angela, owner of Serenity Care Services, at 317-900-6202. Our team of trained and experienced personal care providers are licensed to serve seniors requiring companion care and light housekeeping services in Indianapolis and its 5 surrounding counties. Call us today at 317-900-6202. Now hiring qualified applicants.
A look at the Brown County huddle. Greenwood Christian Academy leading them 48-29. 6.5 left to go here in this fourth and final quarter. Jimmy Cook alongside Troy Darengowski. As we were talking about before we went to break, with the shot clock in the state of Indiana. Regardless where you set it, I don't care if it's 45. You can almost even put 60 seconds on the clock for me. That might be a little excessive, but either way, just something in a baseline introduction for what play at the next level's like.
And it is. And not only that, and I mentioned to you a little bit ago, those players that do get to the next level, they do sometimes really struggle knowing that there is a shot clock and getting into the offense. But outside of that is the entertainment of the game. And I'll give you an example. I saw a video a couple of days ago where all the players gathered over here. There were 5 players right in front of that bench. 4 of them were guarding, basically standing in front of their teammate, not letting the other team in. You can't call a 5-second call. There's no reason to. And so all the other players were out here just standing there watching them, and they stood there and stood there and stood there. That is not basketball and not what it's meant to be. I'll go back to when they thought about putting in the three-point line in high school basketball. You would have thought, as you have a push there, you would have thought that the world was going to come to the end of everything because, we can't have a three-point line in high school basketball, but look how it's evolved in the game. You evolve the game as you go. I think 45 seconds is a perfect thing to work at. Fans don't pay money to come watch teams stand around and hold a basketball. This isn't Hoosiers anymore for 2.5, 3 minutes standing out front. They come to watch basketball, and that's what the game's about.
Yeah, I agree. Foul goes against, we believe, Noah Reed. That's what it says on the board. It'll be his fourth.
You know what the biggest argument I hear against it? Well, we got to find so we can run a shot clock. Oh, come on.
Yeah, it's not. I don't buy that one.
I don't either. Well, then we got to buy a shot clock. Well, okay, I'm sorry, but who are you doing this for, you or them? And you want people to come watch your game, they're going to pay money to see a good basketball game.
And some proponents, there's a nice shot in the drive. Basket is good by Boer. He's having himself a nice night. Oh, well, the game's going to be sloppy. It's not. No, it's going to teach coaches to be more efficient, be better. Yeah. It's going to be sink or swim for a little bit there to open things, sure, but you're going to have more efficient sets, more efficient offense across the board.
Yeah, and the players will adapt as well. Believe me, they will begin to implement that at a young age where players need to know, run the offense, be more efficient with what you're doing, pay attention to detail a little bit more, because you can't tell me that there aren't some games today, and I've seen and I've called many, where you're talking about 30 turnovers in a game and there's no shot clock.
And the other thing is you're giving your state, your pool, I mean, it's not drastic, right? Like, the idea of not being able to adjust to the shot clock at the next level, it's not world-altering like careers are going to be over.
Yeah.
But it is a learning curve. You're putting yourself at a disadvantage to other schools or other programs around the state, around the country, because the federation, the NFHS, I know they're not like directly tied to the association, but it's required from their aspect. They have shot clocks for most schools around the state. There's a foul and one. Nice drive. Josh Miller. Anyway, I do think in the circles I've talked to, we are getting closer and closer to that at some point than we were 10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah. Well, if the purists say, again, I'll point to the three-point line, and I'll also point in the state of Indiana multi-class basketball, because when I came to Indiana, it was one class, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I was one of those that said no.
Right.
But there were so many teams that in schools wanted to, and everybody adapted to it, and they've adjusted, and everything is fine.
Yep. Turnover there by the Cougars, approaching the halfway mark of this fourth quarter. A 20-point advantage for Greenwood Christian Academy.
I don't know about you, Jimmy. I think as a player, I'd rather have a 45-second shot clock. I think it'd be kind of fun.
I would have, particularly on defense, because it would lock me into another level, because you're relishing in the opportunity, like you see so many college programs go, of locking in and making a team not get a shot off for 45 seconds.
That's right. I just think it'd be fun. Well, again, the purists aren't going to like it, but
I didn't know about the kids lining up like that. It's a good thing I wasn't good enough to play high school ball, because I would have been about guerrilla warfare with that. It would have been a protest movement. Score that first basket, and then let's line up in a circle.
Yeah, it was silly. I just couldn't believe when I saw it. Well, when I become emperor, and I've told Keith this before, when I become emperor of the world, there will be a shot clock.
First rule there, long three-pointer by Aiden Sloan. He's had a couple tonight.
He can come knocking at my door and protest all he wants, and I'll just shut off the lights and get a good night's sleep.
Well, if nobody hears from us after this broadcast, send an email to Coach at IndianaSRN. I want to see a leave of absence suddenly pop on the calendar for you. Long three-pointer off the mark.
Hey, I'm penciled in. Once I've penciled in, now after that, you can do whatever you want, but I'm showing up whether you want me to or not.
I hope Greg and Nick don't come down with us. I mean, I don't know. Feel bad for them.
Well, now, if they deny at any point saying that they were with us, I'll be upset.
They're complicit, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're with us.
By association, Greg, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Producer Greg, I'm sorry. Yep. At the line is Josh Miller. First one's good for him.
You know, tomorrow, speaking of Jimmy, you're going to be on the road making that nice trip to Jasper. Now, you said what you do is you listen to a podcast. What are you going to listen to on the way down?
Man.
There's a lot of choices, I know, but what do you like to listen to?
Well, one of my favorite podcasts I like to listen to, dive into different pop culture, different movies and stuff that's out there if I'm going outside the world of sports. If I'm going into the world of sports, the Dan Le Batard Show is one of my favorite radio programs, so I'll probably listen to a little bit of their Friday coverage that I didn't listen to today, and just dive into whatever pops up. I haven't set the playlist yet, but if there's any whatever you get your podcast, Troy, whether it's Apple, Spotify, always have some suggestions or some new and noteworthy stuff. Maybe look around there.
No, I was just wondering if, you said it's about, 2:40?
About 2:40 from my house, yep.
Wow.
But it'll be a fun day of action all across the docket for IndianaSRN. We will have a look at those broadcast schedules for you. A brief look in during our post-game show. I can't really read my – Troy, could you help me out here as the layups there? The folks at home won't be able to see this. I just got a text from the coach, Keith. Does that say pro shot clock?
It does. It's a pro.
I think it says pro. Yeah. I think it says pro.
So
pro
Myers
shot
changed
clock.
his mind.
Maybe he's changed his mind now. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, no, it's no, and then shot clock's in all caps.
I see.
That's my fault. I misread that. Apologies there to the coach.
Well, he's probably about ready to go to bed. He's been taking some medication by now, so he really doesn't know what he's saying.
I wonder how he was belligerent in that text. A lot of exclamation points there. All the love to the coach. Great Debbie Myers watching some of that broadcast. I wonder if somebody told him. I wonder if we were outed by one of our own. Greg, was it you? Are you a bull? Pass it along.
Can't trust anybody anymore.
2:45 left in this fourth quarter. And we talked about all the time, Troy, trying to get yourself geared towards playing the best brand of basketball you want going into the postseason. There is going to be enough positives on film for Brown County to have himself a good foundation to close the regular season.
And they will, and it's just a matter now of consistency, and can they do it quarter by quarter by quarter, where they've had a good third quarter. They've actually played pretty well here in the fourth quarter to keep this thing respectable. They just got to be able to put it together throughout the entire ball game. And sometimes when you're really struggling, that's a nice play down low for Miller. When you're struggling, it's hard to be consistent, but that word consistent is going to have to be their mantra the rest of the way.
Wild pass, 3 in the air for Comaford, no. It'll stay on this end, though.
I'm sorry, I was just going to mention, they have so many good teams in there. They've got Brownstown Central, Northview, Edgewood, West Vigo, and Owen Valley. The Northview is going to be the favorite there along with Brownstown Central. So they're going to have a lot of teams to try to overcome. So they're almost going to have to play perfect basketball to win that sectional.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Family Source Insurance. Nice shot there for Matt Tyke. Family Source Insurance has you covered for auto, home, life, or business. Give a call to Pat Cherry to get a quote today at 317-884-8046. Look to Family Source Insurance for all your needs or go online to FamilySourceInsurance.com. 90 seconds left in the ball game.
I asked you about going to Jasper tomorrow and what you're going to listen to. Do you have a tendency being in sports and doing sports talk like you do every day? Do you just want to get away from that sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah. It's nice to detox. There's enough. I referenced there's a nice three-pointer knocked down by Brady Bond. That's right, Troy. That's Bond. Brady Bond from deep. I had that in my pocket all night. Didn't get to break it out until now, but I'm glad I did. A show like, for instance, I referenced the Dan Levitard show. It is sports talk, but there's so many different pieces to that show that it has more, humor and funness to it. But in terms of your general sports talk, it's good to step away for a little bit.
Yeah. And then probably everybody keeps asking about sports, too, all the time when they see you, right?
Yeah. And for the most part, I do enjoy the dialogue because sports is one of the things, even though some people have some wild takes, I do like to gain different perspectives wherever you go.
Yeah.
Like the Colts fan base right now, there's a massive split between there's a nice drive, but a better defensive play there by the Eagles. Do they keep Carson Wentz or they cut him and move on, look for something else next year? So that's a kind of a chasm in the Colts fan base right now.
Exactly.
Top of the key, off the mark. Put back, won't drop. Jesse Hubbard, the freshman, getting some PT. Final 20 seconds in the ball game. Coming up next, we'll hand out Player of the Game honors after a brief break. We'll look ahead to upcoming broadcasts on IndianaSRN. Long triple is knocked down. Beautiful way to end things for the Eagles. Will we get one more shot from the Cougars? I think they're just going to hold and run things out. They will indeed. Well, it was interesting in that first quarter. Some question marks about where this game might go. But eventually, the Cougars of Greenwood Christian Academy come out on top by a final of 60-41. We are going to step away briefly. When we come back, we will look at our upcoming broadcast schedule as well as take you through our player of the game honors. Again, our final on this one, Greenwood Christian Academy 60, Brown County 41. Back in a moment for the postgame show.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Welcome back. Greenwood Christian Academy. Final in this one. The Cougars victorious over Brown County 60-41. A reminder of upcoming broadcasts here on Indiana SRN. It's a big weekend, so we'll focus in on the weekend of action. The IHSAA has their track and field championships this weekend at Defiance College. We'll be on site for that. It's going to be a fun day of action. Coverage gets started, or the start of the meet, I should say, at 1 o'clock. And then a journey down to Jasper for girls semi-state. We'll be down there as University takes on Forest Park in the 2A final. And then yours truly will be on the call as Mooresville battles Franklin Community in the 4A semi-state matchup. Myself, along with Sean Kroll and Jarrett Lewis, will be on the call for those games. Kurt Darling doing a wonderful job, will be leading the charge for the IHSAA track and field championships at Defiance College. Go to IndianaSRN.org for listings, times, and more of the upcoming schedule for Indiana SRN, particularly as the postseason rolls along for girls and boys hoops. Back in a moment to wrap things up and hand out player of the game on Indiana SRN.
You want a career that will transform your life while you change the lives of others by helping them live well. With a health or exercise sciences degree from IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences, you will gain an in-depth understanding of the healthcare industry while preparing you for a variety of graduate and professional programs in health. And with Indy as your classroom, you will have clinical options within leading hospitals right in our backyard, as well as a degree from Indiana University, reputable leaders in the healthcare industry. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Welcome back inside the Indiana SRN studios. Brown County, Greenwood Christian Academy, a fun battle. GCA ultimately comes out on top 60-41 alongside Troy Darengowski. I'm Jimmy Cook. For the final time this evening, time to hand out our player of the game honors. Where do you want to go with that tonight, Troy?
Well, Max Boer had 17 points tonight, and he got 12 of those in the second half. And we mentioned in the pregame, if he gets rolling, he's really tough to stop. Just a guy that hits the shot from the outside, he'd be the player of the game.
Yeah, he had a nice night and a beautiful night all around for Greenwood Christian Academy as they get ready for postseason play. Brown County will do the same. Again, we mentioned that losing streak now to 15 games for them, but everybody gets an opportunity, gets a punch, their ticket to the dance regardless of where your regular season record was. Plenty of opportunities to look at the film and some stuff to be proud of as well as this game went on. Troy, some final thoughts here from Greenwood Christian Academy.
Well, you know, they got a couple of things to work on because they play in a tough sectional, and you got Indianapolis-Tinley in there, and they're going to be the favorites. You're really going to have to make sure you cut down on your turnovers. You look at tonight overall, I had him for 16, and that does include losing of possession arrows. And they got to hit the layups, too. They missed a lot of bunnies here tonight that probably would have made this game a little bit different. If you're Brown County, build on that second half. You outscored Greenwood Christian 29-26. So offensively, they've shown they can do it. Now they got to do it when the tournament rolls around.
We want to thank everybody involved with this broadcast. Greg behind the ones and twos doing a stellar job. Nick getting great shots for us on site at Greenwood Christian Academy throughout tonight's game. Want to remind you also, as we mentioned in that first segment of the post-game show, plenty of action all weekend long on IndianaSRN. Go to IndianaSRN.org to browse the full family of networks and get in on all the action. For my broadcast partner, the great Troy Darengowski, I'm Jimmy Cook. Again, our final in this one. Greenwood Christian Academy defeats Brown County 60-41. And until we talk to you next time, so long, everybody.